Well, happy new day, my Hotep family. I'm Ray Hagins, Chief Elder, Spiritual Leader, and Teacher of the African Village and Cultural Center, your brother, your friend, and your host right here on Sunday NGF Fellowship Online. I'm so glad to have you guys with me today. And once again, God has blessed us with the opportunity to be able to come with the truth to set our people free. Brothers and sisters, listen, let's get right into it, and I'll save the preliminary remarks for after we get into it, okay? But right now, let's lift our voices together and sing one more time, one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. All right, everybody. It's so good to see you guys in the chat room. Come on, everybody. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. God allowed us to come together one more. God allowed us, yeah, to praise God's name, just to praise his name. God allowed us to come together to praise his name, to praise her name, to praise her name. God allowed us to come together to praise him. God allowed us, yeah, to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our song, to sing our song, to sing our song. God allowed us to come together to sing our. God allowed us, yeah. Now let's put those hands together. Come on, to clap our hands, to clap our hands. God allowed us to come together to clap our hands, to clap our hands, to clap our hands. Oh yeah, God allowed us to come together to clap our. God allowed us, yeah. Everybody say one more time, just one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. One more time. One more time. Oh, God allowed us. God allowed us, yeah. To come together one more time. God allowed us, yeah. Just to praise his name. God allowed us, yeah. Been so good and kind. God allowed us, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he did. God allowed us, yeah. God allowed us, God allowed us to come together one more time, one more time. God allowed us to come together one more time. Brothers and sisters, let's go right into the oath to the ancestors and acknowledge those who have made it possible for us to be where we are right now. Their life, their deeds, their legacy, and their contribution. All right, so join the brothers and I as we say together these words. O ancestors, blacker than 1,000 midnights, African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. O ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. O ancestors, who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave God consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live, yes, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you, and we will not betray you. Ashe, Ebo.
And now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor just a few
of
the great Africans who have gone ahead of us. We call forth their great African names and honor them. To pharaohs Narmer, Zoja, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep, we say Ashe. To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep, Queen Amos Nefertari, Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II, we say Ashe. To Menkaure Tahuti Mays, known as Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursula Ra, Setepenra, Rametsu Meriamun, Ramses II, Shabaka, Taharka, Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu, we say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Basset, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya, the Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Central, South, and West Alkibu-land, we say Ashe.
We honor
to
their
the
memory
more than
today.
600 million Africans
We honor their
whose
memory.
lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say Ashe. To Harriet Tubman,
Ashe.
Frederick Douglass,
Ashe.
Mary McLeod Bethune,
Ashe.
Nat Turner,
Ashe.
Fannie Lou Hamer,
Ashe.
Sojourner Truth,
Ashe.
Carter G. Woodson,
Ashe.
Booker T. Washington,
Ashe.
Dr. Charles Drew,
Ashe.
Noble Drew Ali,
Ashe.
Benjamin Banneker,
Ashe.
George Washington Carver,
Ashe.
Bishop Richard Allen,
Ashe.
Bishop Charles Harrison Mason,
Ashe.
Howard Thurman,
Ashe.
Mother Mahalia Jackson,
Ashe.
the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey,
Ashe.
Benjamin E. Mays,
Ashe.
Langston Hughes,
Ashe.
Medgar Evers,
Ashe.
Paul Robeson,
Ashe.
Dr. Martin Luther King,
man.
Malcolm X, Thurgood Marshall, Mother Clara Hale,
Remember them
Adam
today.
Clayton Powell, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Ashe.
Dr. Amos Wilson,
Ashe.
Dr. John Henry Clark,
Ashe.
Dr. John G. Jackson,
Ashe.
Dr. Shikanta Diaz,
Ashe.
Dr. Chancellor Williams,
Ashe.
Dr. George G. M. James,
Ashe.
Patrice Lumumba,
Dr. Yusef
Kwame
Binyakinen.
Ture, Kwame Nkrumah,
Bishop
Dr.
Clarence
Khalid
Gilmore.
Muhammad, Dr. Jacob
Oh, my
Carruthers,
goodness, yes.
Dr. Ishaka Musa Badashano,
Yes.
Brother Ray Charles,
Dr. Asa
our
Hilliard.
mothers and fathers,
Oh,
our
my goodness.
grandmothers and grandfathers,
Cindy
our
Portier.
great grandmothers and great
Sister
grandfathers,
Tyson.
our brothers and sisters,
Yes.
sons and daughters,
Yes.
aunts and uncles,
Brother John
nieces,
Lewis.
nephews, cousins,
Oh,
all
yeah.
those who have gone ahead of us
Yes.
and have made their ancestral transition
Yes.
to their life, deeds, legacy, and contributions, we say,
Ashe.
Again we say,
Ashe.
Again we say,
Ashe. Evo. Yes, yes, yes. Ah, we sing this praise in honor of them. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. The English translation of these words: God is great and he's worthy to be praised. I say hallelujah. God is great and he's worthy to be praised. I say hallelujah. Here's my prayer. So God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say, you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come. They will say, you are with us. Yeah, yeah. Allahu Akbar. Ah, yes, family. It's so good, man, when we guys come together like we are right now, all over the world, simultaneously. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, but because of technology, we're able to do that because of the internet. I'd like to say thank you, family, for being with me today, for making time on your schedule to join me today to be a part of this fellowship. Thank you so very much. Asante Sana for being a part of us today. Again, for those who don't know, my name is Ray Hagins, as you can see there on the screen, right? My name is Ray Hagins. I am the chief elder and spiritual teacher and leader of the African Village and Cultural Centers. And I'm excited to be able to serve in such a capacity. You know, I'm thankful for the brothers and sisters who are members of the African Village. Many of you who join us every week in the chat room, believe it or not, y'all are members too. Okay, simply because you're here with me every week. I'm getting to know many of you almost personally because I see your name every week. And I'm honored by that. I'm so honored that you are here on time every week, man. I mean, when we go live on the dot, 12 on the dot Eastern time, y'all are right here. And that means so much. I see good friends of mine. Oh my goodness, man, in the chat room here, who I've known for years. Yeah, Brother Dalton, I see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, good to see you, man. Oh my goodness. And hey, it's just wonderful. I'm excited about what is happening. I'm honored to the brothers and sisters of the African villages uh, around the country, around the world. I honor you today, of course, starting with headquarters, to our elders there, okay, to our brothers and sisters there in St. Louis, Missouri. Man, hey, this is where this all really began, right there, right? At headquarters in St. Louis. And then we spread out 9 years later and formed our first, how can you say it, the first village we gave birth to, okay, after our 9-year pregnancy, okay, and we birthed the African village of Youngstown, Ohio. And so to the elders and brothers and sisters there in Youngstown, Ohio, hey, man, we honor you today as well. And also I want to honor the life deeds and memory of Brother Frankie Halfacre from Youngstown, well, formerly from Youngstown, Ohio. He's passed away now, made his transition, but his daughter, Madeline Halfacre, called me one day and said, Dr. Higgins, can we air your messages on our radio station? And I said, sure, by all means. And I said, well, who's going to pay for it? He said, we're gonna sponsor you. We want everybody to hear your message. And that's how we ended up going into Youngstown, Ohio. Okay, so somebody get the word to Madeline, unless you listen today, how much I honor her as well. And I miss her father, Brother Frankie Halfacre, an awesome brother there, to the African village of Chicago, Illinois, to the African village of Detroit, Michigan, to the African village of New York City, all right, in Missouri, Waziri Wells, of their minister in charge, to his queen, Sister Tyra, and to the family there in New York. We honor you as well. To the African village of Charleston, South Carolina. Oh man, we honor you guys down there as well. To the African village there in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, Pastor Norman Red Wing doing a great work there in Memphis. And man, we're excited about what you guys are doing as well. To all of our supporters and our friends everywhere, to our brothers and sisters who are supporters of us down in Florida, down in South America, Guyana, South America, to our brothers and sisters down in the Virgin Islands there. Okay, I've forgotten you guys, oh my goodness, out there in Oklahoma City, haven't forgotten y'all either. Okay, hey man, it's just wonderful. Our brothers and sisters in the motherland, in Ghana. Okay, and to our brothers and sisters on military bases who listen to us all over the world, it is such an honor to be able to be your teacher, to be your friend, to know that you are logging on and learning and freeing your African mind. That means so much, means so much. Brothers and sisters, listen, for the last few weeks, I've been airing messages that kind of goes back to our early years, starting the African village there in St. Louis, Missouri, and the reason what has made me go back there is because I've had pastors, and I'm so excited about that. Pastors who have been listening to me, some who started out listening to me trying to disprove what I was saying. In the process, got hooked, okay, by the truth. And now they want to move their congregations into the realm of African consciousness to teach the truth of our African story. And many of them have asked me, Doc, how can I get my congregation to the level that you've gotten yours to? And brothers and sisters, I'll tell you the truth. When I started this work, I didn't intend on it growing to what it has grown to. Okay. In fact, I used to tell the folk in St. Louis, we had a sister there, Sister Marie Yancey, and she said, we're going global, Pastor, we're going global. And I remember saying to Marie that day, Marie, I'm not trying to go global. All I'm trying to do is teach the truth to y'all right here at 3520 North Newstead Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, guess what, y'all? We're global. Okay. Due to the internet, we're global. And I mean, I get email from all over the world every week. Every week, you know. In fact, I read at least 50 something pieces of email on last night of people still responding to the thing I taught a few weeks ago on the illegitimacy of a people called Jews, thanking me, for, I guess they went and verified and looked up the things I said. That means a lot to me. That's why I say, don't take my word for what I'm saying. Do your own research. Okay. So I've been airing messages and looking at the messages that I taught years ago. It reminds me of a brother who came and joined the African village. His name was Minister Silas. I believe he's passed away now. But I'll never forget when Minister Silas walked through the doors of the African village. A very what's the word I'm looking for? Very elegant looking brother. Everything was, yeah. You to look at him, you would be impressed. You know, and he came to me after the fellowship that Sunday, and he said, "Pastor, I'm surprised that they haven't killed you yet." I said, "Why you say that, man?" He said, "Because these preachers here in St. Louis, man, are really trying to do their best to stop you." I remember when the ministers in St. Louis came against my ministry, black preachers, right? In fact, I'll let y'all see a clip of that at some other time. And one of the pastors there, Reverend Del Shields, yeah, I'm gonna call his name, Del Shields, said to me, "Man, you're going to find yourself isolated from the clergy community here in this city." And I said to him, I said, "Brother, I don't care about that. I didn't come here to be y'all's friends. I came here to teach the truth to our people. And evidently, y'all are not doing it. And that's why God brought me to St. Louis." He didn't like that at all. Well, hey, so that's been my story pretty much of my time in St. Louis. And even to this day, okay, the pastors in St. Louis, they just don't want to fellowship with the African village. And it's fine with me. Okay. I'm not trying to, my mom taught me this old adage that if you rub shoulders with dogs, you'll end up with fleas. Now, I'm not trying to call them dogs, but it's just an adage of be careful who you associate with. Okay. And so to be sure that, we're clear, I don't hang out with with them. I just don't. I have a job to do, and I'm going to do my job as I'm doing here every week. Okay. Well, today's message, brothers and sisters, is one of those messages again that caused such a stir and uproar. All right. So today I'm going to explain to you why and how the Roman Catholic Church created Jesus Christ. And people have said to me, well, you say there was that Jesus came into existence in 325 AD. Christianity existed before 325 AD. Christianity existed before 325 AD, but not Jesus Christ. Understand this. The Christianity that predated 325 AD is called the Christianity where they worshiped the god Serapis Christos. I'm going to break all that down for you today in today's message, and you'll see why people say Christianity is older than 325 AD. But in 325 AD, that's when the Roman Catholic Church, under the order of Constantine, Emperor Constantine, literally issued an order to change Serapis Christos to Jesus Christos. You're going to see all that today. And again, family, don't take my word for the things I say. Do your own research, please. Please try to invalidate what I say, okay? I wish you would, okay? Please try to do that. Google it. As I'm saying it, we have the technology now. You can validate everything I'm saying as you're listening to me. All right? So let's get ready to learn some more. And for those who've asked the question, okay, hey, Minister Pamela Howard, I see you there. Good to see you, girl. Yeah, and she wrote in the chat room, take notes. Y'all take notes today, okay? I've had people say to me, man, why don't you just leave us alone? Just leave this alone. Let us be. It kind of reminds me of the story in the biblical text where the teacher of righteousness came and people who were demon possessed said, leave us alone. Don't bother us. Don't bother us. Well, I have to address the lie. I have to. That's the only way I'm going to set you free. Okay. And show you how the lie came into existence. All right. So let's learn that now. And whatever time we have left after, I'll share some more information with you on that. But let's get right now into the message for today. Okay. Learn. As always, I'd like to take a moment before getting into this message to just say up front, I don't intend to hurt anyone today. All right. And I say that because I find out, brothers and sisters, that sometimes things are said that are virtually unbearable for some people. Like I said on the radio this morning, y'all remember that scene in A Few Good Men? For those who saw that movie, where Jack Nicholson was sitting on the stand in the courtroom, and the man said, "I want the truth," and Jack Nicholson said, "You can't handle the truth." I found out a lot of our people can't handle the truth. They really can't. But I still got to give it. I still got to give it, you know. It's almost like surgery, you know. So if I say something that is a little bit outside of your realm of awareness, please exercise intellectual vigilance. And instead of shutting me down, and instead of shutting your own mind down, make note of what I said that you don't understand and go do your research. Okay? Go do your homework on it. Go verify what I said. If I'm saying something that you don't know anything about, how can you say anything about it? Right? Okay, so having said that, let's get into the message for today. As you see, the subject of today's message is Nicaea, 325 AD. AD stands for Anno Domini. It does not stand for after the death of. Okay? Anno Domini is Latin, which means in the year of our Lord. What's really deep, brothers and sisters, is this really ought to tell you something. How the Gregorian calendar has been completely adjusted around the existence of someone that the Roman Catholic Church made up. That's some deep stuff. I mean, they actually started counting time down up to a certain point, you know, BC, or BCE, before the Common Era. Then it comes to a certain point in history, and then they start counting up again. Okay? So here we have, this is 2006. Right? According to who? You mean tell me we've only been here 2006 years? No. Actually, I think this is 6,746. According to, if I'm correct on that, according to, and that's called after the founding of Kemet, AFK. So according to the ancient African calendar, or the first stellar calendar, this year would be 6,746. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Okay? Now we got a problem with that. Okay? Because that's after the founding of Kemet. That's just the calendar found in Egypt. You follow what I'm saying? And those of you who are going with us to Kemet this year, you'll get at the Temple of Dendera, you'll get to see the first stellar in the observatory there. You'll get to see the first zodiac that was used. Okay? Which they copied all that from. Now that's some deep stuff, because if we're talking 6736 or 6736 after the founding of Kemet, and yet Kemet is the child of Ethiopia. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Okay? And the civilization that came into Kemet with full knowledges of the math, of math and sciences and horticulture, out of agriculture. Y'all follow me? So how far back does African consciousness really go? If you do some research on what is called the Hutu and the Twa, you'll see that their history dates back almost 400,000 years. What number did I just say, y'all? Almost 400,000 years of history of African people. Why don't they want us to know this? In order for those who have been misled to begin to see correctly, and you need to understand, y'all, a lot of us don't see correctly. We see what we've been given to see. We see through the lenses that were assigned to us.
And in order for us to begin to see correctly, we must have a clear analytical understanding of the origin, the strategies, the mechanics, the purpose, and methods of the device that has blinded us in the first place. Now let's look back at that. First of all, have you identified the device that got you blind? Think with me. Have you identified it? Most of you have not. Most of you say, the white man. Okay. And then how do you address that? You have to specifically identify the device that has miseducated you. Look at its origin. Go to the origin of it. Look at the strategy inculcated into it. What is the strategy behind your blindness? What's up with that? What is the mechanics of it? What is the purpose of it? Why have they purposed to miseducate you? Why? And then look at the methods that they have used to implement their design. And the number one method that's been used to implement this design upon our people is religion. Why is that? Why didn't they use economics to attract us? Because we're not materialistic people. We're not capitalists by nature. Why did they use religion? Because by nature we are a spiritual people. By nature we are attracted to things pertaining to God. So because we're attracted to things that's pertaining to God, they use things pertaining to God to snare us and hook us and place us under arrest and incarcerate our minds till we become dysfunctional and powerless. Brothers and sisters, when it comes to the liberation of the African mind from European concepts, whose concepts? Let me do something here. Do you honestly think that there is a need for the European mind to be delivered or liberated from European concepts? Let me hear your what do you think about that? Yes. Or in case you're not clear, let me help you. Nothing is as backwards as to have an African brain with a European philosophy in it. Everybody knows who they are but us. Everybody on this planet. Everybody on this planet has cultural pride but us. Y'all follow what I'm saying? We must examine and then re-examine again and again and again those agencies that have Europeanized our thinking until we are truly disconnected from the tentacles of their grasp. Imagine a giant octopus, okay, and you're fighting just one of the tentacles. Just one of the tentacles, you're fighting it, and you got a hold on that one tentacle and you think you're winning. Come on, man. When you got 7 other tentacles that's wrapping you up and locking you up and making you immobile, you got to learn how to see the big picture here. The ecumenical councils were legally convened assemblies of ecclesiastical dignitaries. What kind of dignitaries did I just say? When I say ecclesiasticals, family, I mean church dignitaries, okay? And let me add this, so-called theological experts. For the purpose, it was convened for the purpose of discussing and regulating matters of church doctrine and discipline. Now, some deep stuff here, because these council meetings actually created what's called authoritative decrees. I mean, they actually passed so-called laws as to what is and what is not, what you are allowed to think and what you better not say. Let's look at this, the Council of Nicaea. Three things I want to cover here today about that council. The cause of the council. Why was there need to convene this council in the first place? Let's understand that. What was the decree that came out of the Council of Nicaea? And what was the outcome of the council itself? All right, let's look closely at this. What caused the council meeting at Nicaea? Well, to understand that, we have to go back to the first European pharaoh in history. His name was Ptolemy I Soter. I told you I was going to present some archaeological evidence. This is what you mean. This is what I mean when I say evidence that demands a verdict. This is not somebody that we just made up. Here's a coin that dates back to this man's administration. The first European pharaoh. He was the beginning of what is called the Ptolemaic dynasties of ancient Egypt. I take that back. There's no such thing as an ancient white person. Did y'all hear what I said? They ain't been around long enough to refer to them as ancient. Okay, so if they are doing anything, it's recent. It's Johnny come late. Here you have this man, Ptolemy I, also known as Soter. Now, write down the word Soter, S-O-T-E-R. Write that down. You can see the years of his life, 367 to 283 BCE, approximately. And then whenever you see CA before dates, that means circa, it means approximate. Did you write down S-O-T-E-R? Yes. Now, after that, write in parentheses, just make parentheses, but you're going to continue the word. I-O-L-O-G-Y. What does it spell? Soteriology. Exactly. Who knows what soteriology is? The doctrine or the study of salvation. Right. You know why? Because the word soter means savior. You need to understand the historicity here. This man, when he became pharaoh in Egypt, he wanted the Egyptians to consecrate him as a god. Why? Not capital G-O-D, small G-O-D. Why was that? Because all of the pharaohs of Egypt were called gods with a small g. That's why they said Asa-Ra, a son of God. Every pharaoh was considered a god. Now, this European pharaoh comes in and he wants them to make him a god. But the Egyptians did not do that. The Egyptians said, no, you don't belong here in the first place. That's right. That's right. The only reason why you're on the throne is because it was taken by military force under Alexander the Greek. Not Alexander the Great. Alexander the Greek. Wasn't nothing great about him. Y'all following what I'm saying? Ptolemy I, Soter, was a good friend of Alexander. And that's how he ended up becoming the first European pharaoh of Kemet. Check out his boldness. He took upon himself the name Meriamun Satepenra. Sound familiar? Ra, Satepan Ra, Rametsu Meriamen. Mary means beloved or loved. Amen is God. So Meriamen means beloved or loved of God. Satepan Ra means chosen by God. He wasn't given this name. He took it upon himself. Well, he insisted that they make an image in his honor. Oh, shucks now. The Egyptians didn't want to do that, so he started putting them to death. So he found a group of sellout Egyptians, Melkite, Coptic Egyptians, and the city of Menepha, which is known today as Memphis. The priest at Memphis, which was also the capital back then, the priest at Memphis said, "We'll consecrate you to the priesthood." Why did they sell out? Right, to save their behind. Exactly. Guess what? It still goes on today. So they sold out and they consecrated him to the office of Pharaoh, and they made an image. They made an image in honor of him, and this image is called Serapis. Y'all following me? Y'all sure? So you got to understand this. You can't share this with nobody else if you don't understand it. The worship of Serapis. You see, this dude, Ptolemy the First, there it is. That's Serapis, the Egyptian version of Serapis, dating back to approximately 350 BCE. This is the image that they made in honor of Ptolemy the First Soter. All right. Okay? What is Serapis? They took the name Osiris and combined it with the word Apis, which means the bull. Right. Osiris. It became Serapis. Now here's the deep thing about it. Ptolemy the First tried to incorporate the religion of the Greeks into Egypt by creating the worship of a new god. And this was that god in honor of him called Serapis. Now, it was really a composite deity, as you see here. Again, as I said, made up. It looked kind of dumb, don't it? But hey, you know, the Egyptians had to give him something to appease him. Okay? And as you see here, over here is the Greco-Roman version of Serapis, the painting. How do you know that's Serapis? By the cup on top of his head. Y'all see it? Now, what year are we talking here? Greco-Roman, 135 BCE. So this can't be Jesus. If he had existed, it can't be Jesus. You follow what I'm saying? This is the image that the Greeks made the Africans worship. Yeah, buddy. In fact, to show you how deep this goes, there was a correspondence from Emperor Hadrian referring to the Alexandrian worshipers. Where's Alexandria? Come on, talk to me. Where's Alexandria? In Egypt, Africa, right? Yes. The Alexandrian worshipers of Serapis calling themselves what? The bishops of Christ. Now that's deep. There was no Jesus. There was no Jesus. But yet these people refer to themselves as the bishops of Christ. And here's what he says. Egypt, which you commended to me, my dearest Sir Servianus, I have found to be wholly fickle and inconsistent. Putting down Egypt, okay. I can deal with that. and continually wafted about by every breath of fame. The worshipers of Serapis here are called what? Christians. Wait a minute. The worshipers of Serapis are called Christians. And those who are devoted to the god Serapis, I find, call themselves the bishops of Christ. Don't take my word for it, family. Go verify it. Just type this in right here on the internet. This whole thing will come up. Now, what does that mean? That means, brothers and sisters, that in Africa, this image of Serapis that goes all the way back to 350 BCE had become the object of worship. Y'all following me? This was by command. Arius. Everybody say a brother called Arius. A brother called Arius. He had a problem with it. And he made some noise about it. They say this, and I wonder how true it is. The only thing necessary for falsehood or evil to triumph is for good men or women to remain silent. Follow what I'm saying? Falsehood was on the loose. A black man named Arius from Libya came forth and said, enough is enough. He began to explain to them, and you all see what years he lived here, 256 to 336 AD. So guess what? We're talking about the time of the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD. Needless to say, you see, he died 11 years later. Okay? And I wonder, did he die or was he killed? Arius, yeah, buddy. Arius lived at a time when the church was divided because of the Christological dispute which he was instrumental in starting. He taught that, and everybody write this down, Christus, C-H-R-I-S-T-U-S, Christus. Christus was also the nickname for Serapis. What word do you see there? Christ, exactly. Not a Jesus, Serapis. And guess what, y'all? This was deep. This marble image right here, this is the newfangled version of Serapis. Okay, and they've used this bearded figure. This is now the image that they use for Jesus today. Okay, because Serapis, you know, I do in a few minutes show you the comparison. This marble bust of Serapis, which is in where? London Museum. Right now, as I'm talking to you, that's in the London Museum. You were there, did you see it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is in the London Museum. Why haven't we been taught this? Why, y'all who grew up in the church all your life, why weren't you taught this? Why were not taught it? You can't teach it because it will cause the Christian church to shut down. Arius was making noise, man. He was telling everybody, this deity that y'all are worshiping is not deity. He was made by people's hands. Go back here. Look at that. He was made, he was formed out of metal. How do you tell a people who have been worshiping Serapis for over 2.5 centuries that what they've been worshiping ain't real? How do you do that? Arius was causing such a problem because people started listening to him. And they started doing their research and finding out the man was telling the truth. We're worshiping an image that was made in honor of Ptolemy I. And the Son of God, which this is called the Son of God, same as with Jesus, The Europeans took the S-U-N, talk to me black people, and made it the S-O-N. Why do you think every picture you see of Jesus, the sun is behind his head? We weren't taught to call it, we were taught to call it a halo. I dare you to go down here to the Catholic Cathedral on Lindell, is it? All you got to do is walk in there and walk up to the altar and you see exactly what I'm talking about. They got this big pearly white Jesus on the cross with the sun behind his head, meaning he is a Sa-Ra, a son of Ra. And Ra was called, or God was called Ra in ancient Egypt. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Arius came along and he began to mess up everybody's program. He started telling people, y'all are believing in a statue. And guess what, y'all? Some of y'all do too. Some of y'all got the statue, little tiny one hanging around your neck. Yes, you do. And I mean, you know, I have to put it out again. Why do you keep celebrating that? Why do you keep celebrating death? You know? If you're going to celebrate something, celebrate life. Why is it that nobody yet, I should patent this thing and make some money. Just so I can pay some bills. I should patent this thing. I should actually patent, and I'm giving somebody a secret to become a millionaire now. Okay, go out of here and patent, and don't forget me when you do now, all right? Go out of here and patent an empty tomb. Next Sunday, that's what everybody's supposed to be celebrating. The resurrection. Why ain't nobody wearing empty tombs around their necks? They're still wearing the cross with him on it. He's still dead. Y'all follow what I'm saying, people? Arius caused such a problem for the clergy coalition of his day. He caused such a problem for the ministers' union of his day. He caused such a problem for the ecclesiastical dignitaries of his day that they had, I mean, really, people were starting to leave their churches and going to listen to Arius. So what happened, for the sake of stability in the Roman Empire, Constantine called a council and summoned all the bishops of the Roman Catholic Church to this council meeting. It was called the Nicene Council. And in this council, the first order of business was to discredit and silence Arius. We got to stop this man. Yes, black man from Libya. We got to stop him. He's telling the truth. But we don't need for the people to know that. Y'all hearing me? So they convened a council meeting and they came up with a creed. Now mind you, when this council meeting was called, there was no Jesus. This is who existed. Serapis. Y'all following what I'm saying? Are you clear? Don't take my word for it, invalidate what I'm saying. Prove me wrong. Go find a coin or a statue of Jesus somewhere. You won't find one, brothers and sisters. Nobody, Origen, none of the historians of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd century said anything about somebody called Jesus. Listen, bro. Listen, Lord, listen what I'm saying. If there was somebody who really turned water into wine, they'd have statues of him everywhere. If somebody really took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and fed 5,000 people, they'd have statues and monuments of him everywhere. If somebody had really walked the water, that'd been it, man. That's been it. Did y'all see what that brother did, man? Y'all follow what I'm saying? There would be drawings and everything of it. Not one iota of evidence anywhere on this planet. So what they had to do was they had to take this image right here, the Serapis image, and make it Jesus. At the Nicene Council, y'all all right? All right. You sure? All right. At the Nicene Council lasted for 2 months and 12 days. 2 months and 12 days of deliberation as to what to do with Arius, and also to pass a law that people can't kneel down and pray at this time. They got to stand up and pray, and also to pass a law that this is going to be the day that everybody celebrates Easter. Okay? Now, even though this pagan practice of Easter had existed for thousands of years, nobody had actually decided what day it was going to happen on. To the Nicene Council. 318 bishops were present. Pope Sylvester, everybody say Pope Sylvester. Another sellout preacher. Pope Sylvester. Constantine went to Pope Sylvester and said, now listen, I'm making you the first pope. Black man, right? I'm making you the first pope, Sylvester. Okay? But now here's what I want done. And as long as you follow my orders, you'll be a rich pope. You won't have nothing to worry about. Pope Sylvester was Emperor Constantine's puppet and was used to proclaim his wishes. To this council we owe the Creed of Nicaea, defining against Arius. And this is some deep stuff. They actually convened a council meeting and came up with a creed just to discredit Arius. The Nicene Creed, which became the statement of the Christian faith, was written and decreed and canonized by 318 Roman Catholic bishops of the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Let's check it out. Let's read it together. What does it say? Can everybody see it? Yes. Let's read it. We believe in one God the Father, all-powerful, maker of all things, both seen and unseen. Stop right there. Okay? Not a problem. Now they begin to address the issue. You notice how they had to open it up? They had to open it in a statement that is unanimously agreed upon with everybody. Arius didn't have no problem with that statement. In fact, that was Arius' argument. There ain't but one God. He ain't got no son. That was Arius' argument. See what I'm saying? Okay? The son, the one y'all calling the son is the S-U-N. That was Arius' argument. But now they begin to address Arius' heresy, as they called it. Now, actually, the man was telling the truth. And by the way, y'all, Arius historically existed. He really existed, okay? He was telling the truth. But that's the problem. The establishment couldn't handle the truth and not remain in power. And remain in power. Now let's look at the next thing now they begin to address. And in what? One Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the only begotten from the Father. Why did they have to say that? Because they wanted you to know. See that statue that they made, that wasn't begotten from the Father. That was made by people. The Serapis image, that was made in a furnace, shaped and molded by the hands of craftsmen. Okay? So they had to come up with a creed to knock all that out. begotten from the Father. That is from the substance of the Father. Y'all see this? I mean, all you got to do is read this about 3 or 4 times and you'll see how asinine it is. I mean, really, just read it several times and you'll see, why did they have to keep saying that? Why did they have to say that again? I mean, what are they trying to say? You follow what I'm saying? Begotten from the Father, that is from the substance of the Father. Check this out. God from God. Light from light. True God from true God. Now, you just said God from God. So why you have to turn around and say true God from true God? Begotten, not made. Y'all see it? That's already said up here twice. Begotten from the Father. Only begotten from the Father. They got to say it again. Begotten, not made. They're specifically addressing the statements that was made by Arius. Now that's some deep stuff. They actually created a creed based on what Arius said that Catholics everywhere now have to recite every day. Consubstantial with the Father, through whom all things came to be, both those in heaven and those in earth, and for us humans and for our salvation. He came down and became incarnate, became human, suffered and rose up on the 3rd day, went up into the heavens, and is coming to judge the living and the dead, and in the Holy Spirit. Now, why did they have to say all this? Think, people. If it really happened, you ain't got to go through all this. Now it gets real deep, because now they in part 2 of this, they actually talk against Arius' words. And those who say, meaning Arius, there was once when he was not. See, that's what Arius said. Arius said, I remember the day when there was no Serapis image, when blacks were on the throne. Okay, Serapis didn't always exist. Serapis came into existence since you white folk got in here in Egypt. That's what he's saying. So the Roman Catholic Council said, and anybody who says that there was once when he was not, and before he was begotten he was not, and that he came to be from things that were not, or from another hypostasis or substance, affirming that the Son of God is subject to change or alteration, these, the Catholic and Apostolic Church, what y'all, anathematizes. Look at the person next to you and say, there's that control mechanism again. They had to put this creed together because of what was happening with people's eyes coming open. Well, it's deep because there was a lot of confusion, a lot of discussion. People said, now that don't make no sense, but what Arius is saying does kind of make sense. So since they were going through all this, Emperor Constantine stepped into the room. And he said, all right, I'm ordering y'all to decree that the Serapis image is Jesus Christ. And that Jesus Christ is everything that was just said. And then he ordered all books to be burned. Why? You gotta get rid of the evidence. See, y'all, that's why I encourage y'all, go to Kemet while you can. Go to Kemet while you can. Get the evidence while you can. Because in any argument of apologetics, that means proving your point, the rule is no evidence, no argument. Huh? Sure did. That's what the guy in Egypt said to us. Sure said it, brother. I forgot all about that. No evidence, no argument. And that's why they are whitewashing Kemet now. I should say Arab washing Kemet now. They're slowly but surely removing all of the black presence out of Egypt and replacing it with an Arab presence so that they can tell the world that they did all of this. When Constantine came in and made his ruling, all of the brothers who were behind Arius' dad, all of the brothers who stood with Arius, punked out. Punked out, man. We don't want no trouble. Arius, I know you're telling the truth, but man, shoot, we got to eat, man. You know, I got to pay for that Lexus, man. You know, that chariot of gold that I'm riding out there, brother, and them horses that pulling that thing, man, it costs money. So Arius, I'm sorry, brother. You know, you my man. You know, you here. But I got to sidestep you on this one. Nobody stands up against the emperor, Constantine. And all the brothers who came to him, to Nicaea with him, forsook him. That's why y'all, you know, history tells me. You know, you got folk, I appreciate, I love it when y'all say, I'm with you. Y'all know how much I done heard that? And folk who said it ain't here. I mean, I love to hear it, don't get me wrong. But I ain't resting on that. It's not your strength I'm standing on, man. I'm standing on the fact that God gave me this assignment. That's who my strength is. You follow what I'm saying? To awaken our people. I want some of y'all to promise to be with me, man, when the stuff hit the fan. You know, I look around and you ain't there, 'cause I'm gonna shoot you if you ain't. I say, man, I got out here because I thought y'all was with me. Don't take that serious, okay? I don't want nobody to get that out of. I ain't gonna shoot nobody. Unless I have to, that is. Yeah, buddy. Those who followed the brother abandoned him except two. And they were exiled under the order of Emperor Constantine. And as you saw, he died 11 years later. So, what was the outcome of the Nicene Council? A lie was put in place under a European pharaoh. A brother who was born a couple of centuries after the lie got put in place rose up to speak the truth. And what did the powers that be do to the brother? Shut him down, exiled him, and threatened him under the order of death to keep his mouth shut. All of the books that he wrote, all of the lectures that he had done, that's why I got my hard drive backed up many times over in many different places. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Okay? Got to do it, man. Too much work went into all this research. You know, the order was to burn all of his literature. Burn it. Get rid of it. You know? So the outcome of the Council of Nicaea was the transformation of Serapis Christus, which means Christ the Savior. Y'all see it? Serapis, Soter, Christ the Savior, became Jesus Christ by edict of Emperor Constantine in 325 AD. And I just wanted to put that up there because, see, y'all going to be looking at that all this week. Because this is the Passion Week. This is the week that they've used to get this stuff into us, and God is walking around. fabricated figure known as Jesus Christ became a fictionalized soter, savior of the world. And just as I close now, and just as with Brother Arius, anyone, who did I say? Anyone who tries to reveal the truth about the lie that Rome has perpetrated upon the world, especially Africans, they become the victims of severe anathematization. So, understand that, brothers and sisters. Officers, understand that. Young people, young brother, like the question you asked, understand what lies ahead, man. African family, liberators, revolutionaries, understand what lies ahead. Walk together, children. Don't you ever get weary. Walk together, pray together, sing together, shout together. Don't ever get weary. Hold up your head, because the ancestors, good God Almighty, got a great camp meeting going on in the promised land. The ancestors are excited, Brady, because we, their great-great-great-grandchildren, are taking up the mantle of their life, their deeds, their legacy, their contribution, and saying we're going to do like Brother Arius and cry out against this deception that keeps the minds of our people under arrest. Y'all hear what I'm saying? We sing in the song, they'll be coming from the north, south, east, and west. Good Lord have mercy, to stand by our side. So don't be afraid. That's right. You know, there's a biblical story about a young man and his mentor going to war, and all the armies of the enemy were all around the hilltops and the mountains, and the young brother who didn't have much experience in spiritual warfare got scared and said to his teacher, we're gonna die, we're gonna die, we're gonna die. And Elijah, in the text, who had much more experience in spiritual warfare, said, God help this young man, open his eyes and help him to understand that they that be with us are more than those who are against us. Brothers and sisters, there ain't enough opposition out here to outnumber our ancestors. Y'all hear what I'm saying? African ancestors. That's why we say it every time we come together. Oh, ancestors, stand with us. Protect us and guide us and teach us. Protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, oh African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered. Then we say, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, oh African ancestors, and live in us. Ooh, buddy. And if you do that, we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you. And we will not sell out and betray you. Ashe. It is so.
Wow, brothers and sisters. Hey, man, what can I tell you? I'm sitting here, it's like, woo, man. I'm having chills, actually, to be honest with you guys, because it's like I'm sitting here saying to myself, is that how I was dropping this years ago, forming the African village? No wonder the pastors had such a problem with me, because if the people would take time to learn, their churches would go out of business, man. Wow. I trust that you learned today. I trust for those of you who didn't know, I was reading the comments, and some people were sending comments how they had, heard this years ago. It was one of their favorite. And of course, there were some who uh, chose to state negative comments on things I was saying, and I just immediately blocked them, you know. And the reason why I'm doing that, family, is because I just don't have any more tolerance. I just don't have it. I don't have any more room for people who just don't want to learn. Okay, I just don't. I just don't. I have zero tolerance for people who want to be dedicated to their ignorance. The least that you can do is go do the research. Check out what I said. Don't just, you hear something, you don't like it, and you want to try to demonize me. That's you don't learn like that. That's not how you learn. Okay. So when I mean, you again, people, you're more than welcome to disagree with me, but you're not welcome to disturb my class. That you're not welcome to do. I'm not going to tolerate that. Okay, so spread the word. If you're not here to learn, and I saw a couple of y'all made a comments to somebody, if you're not here to learn, then just leave, right? Hey, well, if you're not here to learn, you will get blocked. I'm here to teach. I spend hours every week preparing to teach. That's what I've been doing for years. Okay, and then it's almost like a chef, man. I guess who prepares a sits up all night or preparing a meal, and then you come and tell me you don't like the food, then don't come. Don't come to the dinner table. Then, real simple. Because there are too many people who really want to learn, like you guys right here now. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Listen, let's get this truth out, okay, to the masses, to spread the word. Yeah, spread the word, okay? Share this video, okay? Share it. Hey, man, it's going to be on YouTube. Share the video, okay? We got to free our people. I'm doing my part the best I can. Those of you who will help me to share the truth, please do that, right? That's how we free our people, with right knowledge. Okay, or just say knowledge, not ignorance, just knowledge, period. Again, family, I am so honored, to have the privilege to be an instrument. Notice I said an instrument, just one of the light bearers. There are many out here, okay? I'm not the only one, but I'm glad to be one of the teachers of freeing our people's minds. We got some great teachers out here. Okay. And so let's support our teachers. Let's keep them in prayer. All right. Send that positive energy, because listen, y'all, I went through it firsthand. I mean, when I say firsthand, I mean firsthand. I went through it firsthand in St. Louis when the Black preachers marched against my ministry. I didn't think, I remember when I showed the video Black Wall Street, the documentary, and I put the announcement on our marquee out in front of the church. And the leading pastor there called me and said, "Hey, man, what's this black something that you got on your sign out in front of your church?" I said, "Yeah, pastor, I'm showing the documentary Black Wall Street about the Tulsa riots in the early 1900s and how the KKK destroyed the black financial empire in where was it, Tulsa, right?" And he said, "I never heard anything about that before." I said, "Oh man, listen, I'll loan you the DVD so you can learn about it." And he said, "I don't want to know about that. I don't want to hear about it. We just want to be sure you ain't coming here to St. Louis with that black stuff." That's exactly what he said to me. The same minister called me into a meeting, and his exact words to me were, "Man, this is St. Louis, man. And it's a Baptist church you at, man. Just go over there, lay down and holler and let the people stay asleep, man." And when he said that, the ancestors spoke in my spirit and said, "Let him know to get his house in order." And that's just what I told him. I said, "Man, because of what you just said, the spirit is telling me to tell you to get ready to get up out of here." Okay. And lo and behold, brothers and sisters, that dude he's the one who led the march against me with the black pastors. And in less than 8 months, poor man they had to have a closed casket funeral. He dried up like a raisin, you know. I don't say that to boast, but I do say that to try to get you to understand that God is real. And there's a principle that I grew up with, and that principle is touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. I grew up and I believe that because I've actually seen the consequences of what happens when you come against God's messenger. So the best thing you can do, and I guess I'm sharing this with those of you out there who have a problem with what I'm saying. The best thing you can do is, if you think I'm wrong, just pray for me. Okay. But don't try to fight me. Okay. Because if what I'm saying, follow what I'm saying now, if what I'm saying is of God and you're fighting me, then you're really fighting God. Okay. And that would not be good for you. Right. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, do the research. That's why I say that's why I put the evidence on the screen. I try to, and to the pastors who are watching, that's how I moved my congregation. Okay. From where they were to where they are now. I showed them the evidence. I didn't just preach to them. I taught them. There's a difference. Remember, preachers proclaim, teachers explain. Okay, don't ever forget that. All right, so that's what I did. I showed the evidence. And then my favorite phrase is, don't take my word for what I'm saying. Do the research. Go do your own research. Please go do your own research. This way you don't have to say, well, this is what Brother Hagin said. You'll know for yourself when you do the research. Okay, I think one of the worst things you can do is regurgitate what you hear me say, because that means you don't know what you're talking about. I want you to know what you're talking about. Don't just repeat what I'm saying because you heard me say it. All right, do the research, verify what I've said, so that when you open your mouth, you know that you're telling the truth. Okay, that's what I had to do. I mean, really, brothers and sisters, trust me, when my eyes started opening to the truth of our African story, and I went and did the research, my purpose for doing the research was to try to prove them wrong so that I could hold on to the belief system that I grew up with. Okay. But the more research I did, the more I realized and saw how I've been lied to all my life. And that's what brought the change, And of course, now I have that passion. I have that same passion now that I must do my part to free my people. Okay. So again, family, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm trying to teach, to liberate or free your African mind. That's all I want to do. I just want to free my people. That's all I want to do, man, is free the minds of my people. Okay. And again, for those of you who are here with me in the chat room, thank you so much. I saw your notes there when I was talking in the message about people who say they're with you and then they're not with you. And I saw those of you saying, we're with you, Brother Ray. I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. I really do. I thank you so much for that, but I've been stabbed in the back quite often by people who said they were with me, and it's not a good feeling, but it goes with the territory. of being a ma'akaru. Okay, a ma'akaru is a teacher of truth or a truth speaker. It goes with the territory, and I accept that responsibility. I have no problem with it. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. I'm honored. Okay. Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for being with me today. Okay. And as you hear me say every week, brothers and sisters, hey, if you will, um, if you're watching me on YouTube, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay. And hit that notification bell. So when I go live, whenever I go live, sometimes I just feel led to just go live, unplanned, just go live because there's something in my spirit I want to get across to people. So if you hit that notification bell, when I go live, you'll get the notice that I'm live and you can log on. Okay. Um, so do that, yeah, man. And I also invite you to listen to our 24/7 webcast of me teaching nonstop. Okay, on our website. Of course, it's still in the process of being developed, but we did put the play out button there, so at least you can hear the teachings. Okay, all of the other fancy stuff that go on the website, still working on that. But the main reason why I have the website is so that the teaching can go out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right, so go to the WBLR.com or the AfricanVillage.org. They both go to the same place, and hear me teaching, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, just hit that play button and you'll hear me teaching. All right. Also, brothers and sisters, also, you know how it goes, right? Also, for those of you who want to share in your donations to help us help support the work that we're doing, okay, please feel free to do that as well. As you see, the donation address is there on the screen. If you're making your donation through PayPal, our PayPal address is go to paypal.com. All right, and send your donation to African Village 1 at AOL.com on PayPal. Again, that's African Village 1. That's African with the letter K. Okay. If you're making a donation through Cash App, you see there on the screen is hashtag Dr. Ray Hagins. All right, 1G in my last name. If you're making a donation through Zelle, okay, that's my email address, rayhagins@gmail.com. Or if you want to mail in your donations, okay, if you check or money order, send it to the African Village, 3520 North Newstead Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri. All right, that's headquarters. And of course, our office manager there, Sister Valerie Henson, goes down and checks the mail almost every day. Okay, so if you mail your donation in, she'll get it and she'll just, make the deposit there for us and process your donation. Okay, brothers and sisters, I thank you so very, very much for all of your support, for your love, for your commitment. Okay, for your loyalty, for your faithfulness. Man, you guys give me my strength, to be honest with you. And of course, when I say I depend on, the Most High, and knowing what my assignment is my strength. But what good would my assignment be if I didn't have anyone to listen to me? Okay. And that's where you guys come in. You guys, y'all are here with me every week, man, and I appreciate that so very much. It lets me know that my living is not in vain. Not in vain. All right. Also, brothers and sisters, I can't end without talking about the Black Achievement Fund, right? Oh man, one of the greatest organizations that I've been blessed to be a part of, Black Achievement Fund. Okay. If you're not a member of the Black Achievement Fund, come on and join. Yes, go to baf.solutions and join. Okay. And when they ask, how did you hear about the Black Achievement Fund? Just go on and put Dr. Ray Hagins there. All right. And I'll get an email that you joined. Okay. So come on and be a part of us at the Black Achievement Fund, man. We're doing some great things. And we've completed our remodeling of our facility here in Atlanta. And we have what's called Little Kemet there. And it's a awesome fellowship hall for brothers and sisters to come together and have discussions, learning center, you name it, man. So come on and be a part of the Black Achievement Fund. If you're not a member, come on and join now. Okay. Our president and founder, Brother Arki Hodges, goes live every Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Okay. So you may want to stick around, okay, or hang around and go to the baf.solutions, our website, there at 2 o'clock, and listen to Brother Arki's vision. Okay, listen to our goals and agenda for the Black Achievement Fund. I've gotten people asking, so what is the agenda? What are the goals? Go to the Black Achievement Fund and listen to the vision. Listen to Brother Arki at 2 o'clock every Sunday. He goes live, all right, to talk about what it is we're going to be doing. Yeah, all right. So come on and be a part of it, man. Once again, brothers and sisters, before people sending me text messages about how much they enjoyed today's teaching. I'm glad about that. Wonderful. Oh, my goodness. Brothers and sisters, listen, before I go, I want to since I have time, I'm not rushing as much today. Again, understand, for those of you out there who all you know is Christianity or the religion that you were raised in, I was where you are. I was there. Understand, okay? I was what you call sold out for Jesus Christ. I was there, man. I'll never forget the day that I was at a meeting with some Black brothers in Patterson, New Jersey. And I overheard this brother say the original virgin-born Christ child was Horus of ancient Egypt. Well, that was outside of my circumference of awareness. And I felt that I should do something about what he said. And I stepped to this brother and I said, brother, excuse me, what did you just say? He said, about what? Because he wasn't talking to me. I overheard him say this, right? I said, you said something about Jesus' name being Horus, the Christ being named. He said, yeah, the original Christ, virgin-born Christ child was Horus of Egypt. And y'all, I'm serious. My fist balled up in preparation to fight. Okay, because what he said did not fit my upbringing. It did not fit what I had been taught. And according to the Bible, in the book of Jude, okay, it says, contend earnestly for the faith that was once delivered unto the saints. Contend means fight, like a heavyweight contender, a fighter, right? And I mean, I was actually ready to fight this brother. He hadn't done anything to me, okay, but he said something that I didn't agree with. So that's why when people make their comments and stuff like that, I understand it. I do, okay? You have, like I said, you have the right to disagree, but you don't have the right to disturb my class. That's not going to happen, all right? So I said to this brother, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. The blood of Jesus is against you. You're an evil one. You come to, I started getting kind of irate at that point. And there's a couple of the brothers who invited me to the meeting said, calm down, Rev, calm down. And I looked at them and I said, no, I'm not calming down. All of y'all in here are agents of the devil. Now, mind you, I'm in a meeting with Black men, my brothers, right? Look just like me. And the only thing they were doing was meeting, trying to figure out what we could do to improve and empower our community as African people. And I'm rebuking them all because this one person said something that was outside of my indoctrination. Wow. 3 years later, I'm coming out of a meeting at the mayor's office, and there was a bookstore there in Patterson. I think they're closed now. Maybe that bookstore was there just for me. Who knows? It was called Bazaar Books, all right, by the City Hall there in Patterson. Sold old used books. I passed this bookstore many times in my growing up in the city there. But this particular day, I was moved to go inside this bookstore. So I went in and I asked the owner, "Where's your books on religion and philosophy?" He pointed. He didn't open his mouth. He just pointed where it was. And I went over and I'm starting to peruse through this pile of old books. Okay, and lo and behold, I'll see if I have it here. I don't think I have the book here. No, I don't. At any rate, I saw this book called Osiris and the Egyptian Resurrection. And I looked at it, I said, "What the heck is this? What do you mean Egyptian resurrection?" Because only resurrection I had ever heard of was the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right? And those who believe in him when he returns. So I'm thumbing through the book and I see that Osiris had a son, virgin-born son named Horus. Now, mind you, this is 3 years after that event, after that meeting. But as soon as I saw the word Horus, now mind you, when the dude said Horus 3 years earlier, I thought he was saying Horace, Horus, because that's the only Horus I knew of. And in the book, I saw Horus, Horus. And I said, I bet that's what this is what that brother was talking about. My mind went back. And y'all, that was the day that I began to do the research. And man, didn't. Whew. So, family, understand, those of you who are sold out to Jesus Christ, I understand where you are. I was there, okay? But I was wrong. I got happy over a lie. I got joy when I thought about what he done for me, right? Hear that cold program there, right? Yeah, all that, man, yeah. So I know who you guys are. I got friends who are pastors and members of what's called the Church of Christ. Wow. If what I said today is true, and it is, then what does that say for the Church of Christ? You see the program? And the deep thing about it is there are people who have vowed to defend the church at all costs, at any cost, even if it means taking someone's life to defend the church or defend their faith. So, brothers and sisters, this is a serious warfare that we're in, okay? But nonetheless, as I say, a warrior is at home when they are at war. Understand that, okay? And I am a warrior. I love a good fight, especially when I know I'm right. I love a good fight, okay? So again, family, keep me in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers, man, and as we continue this work, okay? Now to get ready to get out of here, all right? I want you guys to join me in the new version of our song, The African in Me Loves the African in You. When we come together, there's nothing we can't do because you're easy to love. Right? My dear friend and brother, Abid Satek from the Karast Unity Church there in Los Angeles, California. Revived, did a remix of the song "The African in Me Loves the African in You," and when I heard it, I fell in love with it. I said, "Man, this is going to be our new version of how we sing this song now." Okay, so I did a clip a few days ago, just put it out there. I don't know how many of you guys have heard it already, but if you haven't, we're going to hear it now. Okay, and we'll close out with this now. And again, family, I want to thank you for your support. Thank you for being with me today. All right. And until next week, you guys out there, stay strong. But right now, let's get ready to get out of here with this song, The African in Me Loves the African in You. When we come together, there's nothing we can't do because you're easy to love. Check it out. You listen, once you hear it, it's going to lock in on you. Okay. Check it out. Here it goes. Yeah. again. Thank you, Brother Habib. Go like this. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Yeah, yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. Let's do it again. Come on. The African in me loves the African in you. Oh, when we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The African in me loves the African in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. How about power? Let's do it. The power in me, love the power in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The power in me, love the power in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. Truth, come on. The truth that's in me, love the truth that's in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The truth that's in me, love the truth that's in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause you're easy. You're easy. Yeah. You're easy. I love it too, PJ. You're easy to love. Justice. The justice in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The justice in me. Love the justice in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. You're easy. You're easy. Yeah, 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 yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. How about righteousness? Let's do it. Righteousness in me, love the righteousness in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. The righteousness in me, love the righteousness in you. When we come together, there ain't nothing we can't do. 'Cause you're easy. You're so easy. Yeah, yeah. You're easy. Easy to love. Yeah, yeah. You're easy to love. You're easy to love. Family, thank you for being with me today. Do my art and live, and we'll see you next week. Peace.